So we have a horse at the farm now, very exciting.
Why you have
Oh, yeah? What
what's it,
kind?
Amber's. You enjoyed it?
Quarter horse.
Oh.
Yeah, I am enjoying it. Horses are such beautiful animals.
Yeah, good. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sutton Conservation Commission meeting of March 19th, 2025. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag
Of the
United States of
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 29th, 2023 order extending the temporary provisions pertaining to the open meeting law until March 31st, 2025, this meeting of the Sutton Conservation Commission is in a hybrid format and is being recorded. The recording will be available on the town's website and YouTube channel. Tonight in person we have Jim Marin and Tim Thompson and myself, William Wentz. Unavailable tonight, Robin Jakes, Jared Duvall, and Mike McGovern. As well as our consultant Brandon Faniff. In-person staff tonight is Wanda Bean and Samantha Carew. And the first thing up is Waters Farm, Paul Schaefer. If you want to come on down and give us an update.
Good evening, Paul Schaefer from Waters Farm. So I sent the annual report in advance, and once a year we're required to present an annual report to our landlords, which is you fine folks. So if you have questions about what I sent by email, please don't hesitate to ask me. But I wanted, first off, is thank you to the commission for taking on that responsibility, for being our liaison, and it's important to us. So we're very appreciative of the support. We had a great year last year, and it's through the efforts of our members and our volunteers and all the various support organizations that help us out. Do you have any questions about what I submitted previously for last year's events? Okay, very
It
good.
looked good.
Good,
It was accurate.
very accurate. So we're looking forward to this year. We're hoping to be installing our septic system at the visitor center sometime after April 1st. We'll start. The town was using ARPA funds to support that installation. So we thank the town for that, and thank Jim Smith. We hope to have our outdoor stage completed in time for Farm Days, if not sooner. If you haven't seen that project, it's beautiful, and I think it's going to be well served. We wore out the previous one, and it was just a straight platform, and it got weatherized and weakened. So we appreciate and that was through the grant funding from Senator Fatman. We're looking at some more farmhouse repairs this year. We have a potential donor for painting the farmhouse and doing some more restoration work on the exterior work. In the spring, we hope to begin a capital campaign so that we can finish the visitor center. That's probably going to take 1.5 years, 2 years to finish, and it's all the interior work. We're still fighting over colors and what kind of lights and lamps that we want inside. So I shouldn't say fight. We're discussing. So we're also in the spring. We'll be starting, and you'll start seeing the instituting where it's volunteer drive time and it's membership drive time. So the appeals will be going out for that. Just to highlight some of the events that we've got scheduled for 2025 in April, we have the egg hunt on April 19th, rain or shine. There are no rain dates, and anywhere between 20,000 and 30,000 eggs will be put on the field for the kids to find, and they'll be gone in 15 minutes. Doesn't take long. In June and July and August, we typically have our open houses. So for the June open, for our June open house event, we're coinciding with the Coffee with the Cows. They're, instead of being on the common this year, they're going to come up to the farm. We also will have our tractor pulls going that day, and that's also going to be a remembrance day for us. We're going to remember and dedicate some of the parts of the farm to some of our significant members that have passed on and through donations. And it's like a memorial ceremony. The farmhouse will be open for tours, and we hope everybody comes, and we hope we have good weather. July, we have our tractor pulls and tours, our open house. And what got reinstated last year, so for the whole month of July, Kathy Hare, who's an art teacher at the Sutton schools, does a summer workshop for kids, art workshop for kids for the whole month. And it's amazing work that gets done there, and the kids really enjoy it, and I think Kathy does too as well. In August, we have another tractor pull, our open house and exhibits. Hopefully, we'll have our returning cross-country classic. It'll be the third time that they've raced here. We're trying to pin down the dates. They want to come back, but they are a sanctioned event for the track federation that they belong to, and they just have to clear the dates with them for that. September, if you're not doing anything in September, and I believe, let me look on the calendar, I need to know the date. Because I think we're doing it early this year. Yes, Saturday, September 6th. We're trying to avoid homecoming at the schools. That is our apple peeling day when we peel up to 23 to 25 bushels of apples and prepare the apple crisp to get ready for farm days. And it all gets done in one day, most of the work. October, farm days. Farm days. It's October 18th and 19th this year. And knock on wood, this is a very nice piece of wood here. We've had no rain for the 2 days over the last 3 years, so we're going to hopefully continue that tradition. And then in December, Senator Fatman and his wife host the Breakfast with the Santa in conjunction with the Chain of Lights. And we have the Darling Barn open with vendors, and we're a trolley stop. So lots of activities on the farm for next year, so it'll keep us busy. We'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much for the update. It's nice to see everyone working, and yet no rain. That's, I think, the biggest win.
Yes.
To the board, anyone have any questions or comments or updates?
Any update on the Eagles?
Yeah. The last major windstorm that we had, the couple were starting to build their nests, and they had the material on the platform, and the winds took it all away. So we think we probably have lost them for the nesting season this year, and we're hopeful that we will get them back. We're going to increase the edge on the platform so that once they start putting in the boughs and the branches and stuff, that'll stay, then the wind won't blow it away. But if you've ever been up on the farm in a 60-mile-an-hour wind, it's windy up there. I never believed it, and I happened to be up there during that one session of the windstorms, and it's crazy. So that was sad to see that, but it happens.
Just a few words. We're gifted as a town to have something like Waters Farm.
Yeah.
And the group of volunteers. The events are always so special, and I've never seen anybody leave there without a smile on their face.
Thank you.
It's a town touchstone, and the fact that it's preserved and cared for the way it is we're very fortunate to have it, and I thank you very much for you and your organization doing what you do.
Thank you. You're welcome.
One or two questions, I suppose. When are your meetings normally?
Normally, the board meets the second Monday of the month,
Second Monday?
And then we have what we call our event planning, which is the third Monday of the month.
Okay.
And if the weather turns, we'll be meeting in the Darling Barn. Otherwise, we meet at the First Congregational Church.
Okay.
And during the month of May, we only have one meeting because of town meeting, so.
Gotcha. And, you know, I see on the I have the schedule here in front of me, which has a lot of stuff on it, which is great. My kids used to go to the art event with Mrs. Hare in the summer, and they loved it. Where it says work days, farm prep, that's for anybody to volunteer to come
Yes.
down? And
Yes,
yeah, I know it's must-see TV, so hopefully there are people listening to. It's October, so they might not remember, but no, it is excellent. I've been there several times, so thank you.
we try to schedule our work sessions, and we've scheduled one a month at the beginning of the month. And that's basically to do the yard work, do the brush cutting and
Yeah,
and the
okay,
lawn
yeah.
mowing and stuff like that. And the lawns get mowed by our volunteers during the week as well, but just to have a morning event where we can spruce things up and get ourselves ready.
Yeah, I get you. Now I see one in May. These on. There's one in May, yeah, one a month, so.
One a
yeah.
month.
Excellent, so anybody can go down and
Yep,
help out.
thank you.
Thank you for the update. Does anyone from the public have any comments, questions? Everybody's good? Everybody's happy? That means you're doing a good job.
We try.
Thanks for coming in, and we'll
You're
look forward to
welcome, Bill.
seeing everybody at the farm.
Okay.
Have a
thank
great
you.
night. Thank
You
you.
as well.
Next up is public hearing continued for 45 Stone School Road, and the applicant has requested that we continue this to April 16th, 2025 at, I believe that's
It's going to be your first 6 o'clock.
6 PM.
meeting.
Okay.
6 o'clock. I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing for 45 Stone School Road to April 16th at 6 o'clock.
Second?
Tim made a motion to continue 45 Stone School Road to April 16th, and Jamie seconded. Tim, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jamie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I, Bill, vote aye. Okay, gotta kill a minute here. The discussion, can we do that ahead of schedule, or do we have to go at the 6:45?
The one you can do is the thing for planning board.
Okay, so planning board, 428 Partridge Hill Road Planning Board, and this is a retreat lot for a special permit. So they're looking to create a new lot line. Are you able to pull that up, Sam?
Yeah.
428 Putnam Hill Road?
428.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
She
one
said-
for planning board that I said.
Distance could be within 200 feet of the resource area of wetlands. It looks like they would have to possibly file an NOI depending on where they put it. Just according to some notes here, so. I was just gonna say if it's within our jurisdiction, they need to file.
If they have to file, they have to file, right?
I was questioning whether or not it meets the 60/40 rule.
I can ask that too.
Yeah.
I think we did ask that. I think she said it did. I think that was the one I asked about.
Yeah, there's nothing mapped right on the property itself, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's not wetlands on the property. I don't know how, let me measure, rough measure to see how close this is. So, yeah, I mean, anything up to this point will be within 100 feet of the wetlands off-site. So, I would say they're safer to file.
They're looking to do 428 or 428 out?
For,
What was the date of the planning board?
It should be on there, on the front page. No, on the clipboard.
doesn't say, 420, right here?
Yeah, under the application. It's there somewhere. She didn't write it on there. She didn't write it on there.
It's not on.
So it's probably at our next meeting.
One is believing it would be at the next meeting because it's listed that they signed this on March 5th of '25. But unfortunately, do we know when the next planning board meeting is?
Not really.
Well, I mean, if they need to file, they need to file.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I put. I put if within jurisdiction, we need to file, and does it meet the 60/40 rule, which I'm sure they'll check, but.
Yeah.
Kim said it's Monday, so she'll get the information tomorrow.
Perfect.
On the application they submitted, I think they had delineated wetlands, and they actually had square footage of wetland, and it was difficult to see on the PDF. But the square footage of wetland versus upland didn't seem as though it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that still falls under planning board,
Yeah, right.
so, but it's on here, so hopefully. All right.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah. You know, what, it's on the planning board page, so Sam can pull it up from there.
Oh, perfect.
If you wanna look at it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And then it will be planning board under boards and
Planning board.
and then click here. And then you scroll down to. Yeah, like you can see the.
428, yeah.
Yep.
7:10.
Oh, not gonna let me. I don't even know if I can. I tried to do this before and it wouldn't let me go in, so I might not be able to share it. You wanna, your account?
I've never had to have a password
No,
when I
me
pulled
either.
up.
Yeah, I don't know why it does this.
I mean, I've
much.
looked at the plan, so.
What's that?
I've looked
We
at,
all
I've
good?
looked at the plan. Yeah, I think we're good.
Well, it's on the next planning board meeting, and we'll make sure Aaron gets to them, okay? We can always look after too. Next up, 6:45, a discussion for 19 Ramshorn Road. If you want to come down and state your name and address for the record, please.
I wasn't sure of the size of the group,
We're small tonight.
and I'm a former teacher, so that's why I brought in all this stuff.
You got all your homework together, good.
Well, as much homework as I could get. Now, I have a plot plan of the entire area,
Okay.
and on this, it shows the size of the lots. Mine is down here.
Okay,
This, I have 125 feet into the water that's underwater
I think Pam wants
Oh.
to sit
that
down.
I'm
Would you-
taxed on.
sorry, would you mind sitting, because our friends at home can't hear you unless you're speaking into the microphone.
Do you want me to pass the plan?
Do you want to pass, we can pass the plan around if you want us to see it.
Okay,
Here, I can do that while you chat.
this better?
That's better.
Maybe Sam
Okay.
could pull the, pull it up
Sam,
on
do you
the
want to pull it up online too? Oh, this is an old one.
Wow, look at this.
It says Erickson, it's on the,
Yeah, second from the bottom, or top in this case. Okay, pass it over to Jamie.
okay, on that plot plan, I have 120 feet of property that's underwater. The lot is 47 feet wide, and the road dissects the upper portion. The upper portion, on the entire lot, there's 40 trees. Well, there was 40 trees. Oh, if I'd known you had that, I wouldn't have brought it.
We're very fancy.
Okay, there were 40 trees on the remaining pieces of land. There were 10 on the left-hand side of the road, and there were 30 on the right-hand side of the road. Unfortunately, the pines were a problem. I've held on to the trees for years. I bought the place in 1968. And I've liked the trees right along because it kept the house cool. But in the recent years, the pines have been a problem because one grew very close to the deck out in front, And as it grew, it's starting to lift my deck. And the upper portion broke off a couple years ago and tore off my upper deck. So I had to replace that at the expense of $2,500. This year, with the windstorms earlier, it was starting to hit the house. So I had the opportunity when the neighbor was getting some trees done to get rid of those. In this picture, it shows the proximity of the old stump to the wall. If you notice, it's probably about 5 inches. So that was a problem, lifting the deck. The upper portion broke off a couple years ago and tore off the upper deck. So I had to replace that. The lower one is by my shed. And my shed is here. And if you notice, the roof has damage. The whole backside, because of the branches moving around, it tore off the back edge, so it's starting to rot out. So I have to replace the roof. So in order to keep it from happening again, I had that pine taken. In this center section, there's 7 trees remaining. Some of them are almost 100 feet tall. Because I love the trees, but the pines were beginning to be a problem. I'll pass these around if you want. Thank you. Now, for those of you that like a little bit of history, this is a picture of the area back a couple years before I bought it. If you notice some of the pines on this side of the road, were very tiny. I could almost touch the top. I can't touch the top anymore. So you want an explanation why I got rid of it? I had the opportunity, and I didn't want to get any more damage to the house.
Was this a complaint?
Did we get, I'm sorry, did we get a complaint?
What happened was the neighbor, when I sent out the letter, he told me that these trees that were taken out were his trees. So that's when I sent out the other letter to have him come in and tell us.
But we
what's going
originally had a
on.
complaint from someone?
We had a complaint, yeah, that there was a crane sitting there, and we got pictures of the crane lifting the trees over a house.
Oh, that's the one.
So
That was pretty neat to
the
watch.
one, yeah.
Dude.
And the other man's property was half in Milby, the house is in Milby, but the land is in Sutton. And he said he was taking branches off the trees because they were hitting his house too. So I don't know if you have the pictures for that.
I do have, yeah, I have
She
those
has the
photos.
pictures on the computer, so maybe she can.
So the reason you got a letter is because someone complained. We went to your neighbors say you're, I just kind of got to the chase. I think we would have allowed this anyway because of safety issues, right? I mean,
Through the chair, I have no problem with, pine trees are an absolute menace.
We had a neighbor that complained.
we don't know who complained. Someone,
It was a neighbor probably on that street somewhere probably in Sutton,
the
who
sad
had
part
to
about
file
it?
with us. Who had to
I've
file with
I've
us.
got more trees in my yard than anyone else. The one next to me has no trees. They took them down all.
yeah.
Pine trees don't live forever.
No.
And they're dangerous.
Yeah.
I know firsthand that
Yep.
they're dangerous, and I have no problem with a
That's the
dangerous tree
picture
coming
that
down.
we received, that this tree was being hoisted over a house.
Well, that's the only way to get it out.
Yeah. It's impressive that they took it out all at
Because
once.
I'm too old to carry it up the hill.
Yeah. It's too big for a Christmas tree.
I think
Jamie,
the
why
right
don't
way
you
to
give
do
me
it is
those
to,
pictures, and I will make a copy of them with my phone, and then I'll send them to Brandon.
Jamie, you have any questions on
You
this?
know, I'm confused as to, so this came about as a result of a neighbor
Yep.
calling the planning board in Millbury.
In Millbury?
No, they contacted me. They sent
Because
an email.
the planning director from Millbury is the one who contacted us, right?
I have been in touch with the consultant for the Conservation Commission in Millbury, the agent. They have an agent.
But the whole thing started in Millbury, and the whole thing started as a result of 19 and a half, which is who we wanted to
Right,
talk
who
to.
we
And we have this poor
thought,
gentleman
yeah.
who ended up,
Well, at the
Showing
last
up.
meeting, I read the letter that was, of the conversation that I had with the owner of 19 and a half, and he said to me, he says, well, the trees that were taken out were my neighbors at 19. So that's when I had to send the letter to have him come in and tell us what was going on. The other person couldn't make it. Mr. Harris could not make this meeting.
so have we verified that the trees at 19 and a half, that there's no stumps? Or did they remove trees next door to you at the same time
Yes.
they removed your trees?
Yes, but that was Millbury and I'm Sutton.
Actually, the trees came out of
19
the
and a half is
Sutton
what
lot.
it is.
What's that?
Just a weird numbering system, but
I don't have an issue with obviously, these are trees that needed to come down. I'm a little perplexed as to why. It seems to me like the neighbor threw his neighbor under the bus.
well, I mean,
Dude, we've seen that happen a couple
I mean,
times.
know?
through the chair,
Yeah.
in the past, we have asked for an RDA after the fact. I mean, if Mr. Erickson had called and said, I need to take these trees down now,
They
any
would've-
one of us would have issued an emergency
Yeah, yeah.
certificate, right? Is there a cost to an RDA for trees?
$50.
Okay. I mean, do we want to do that?
That
For
just
consistency,
covers
no?
the RDA and it
I don't-
covers
I'm good with it because
bylaw.
they needed to come
They were
down.
coming down, and thankfully it didn't do more damage to your house.
I am curious, though, as to the activities at 19 and a half. And because that's
That's
what the
Millbury.
complaint was filed
Yeah.
about, and we
Right.
need to follow through on
The original complaint.
Through the chair.
Yes.
So Brandon had told me to stop by 19 and a half today. So I stopped by there, knocked on the door, and I did talk to one of the owners. She told me they had cut limbs off of some of the trees, but the neighbor was the one who cut the trees down and took the tree. Now I asked her if anybody could come to the meeting tonight, and she said nobody was available to come. I told her there was a meeting on the 2nd, and she said she'll write that down, so maybe they will come in on the 2nd to explain what's going on their end at least, but I wasn't able to, it's hard to tell without really going down there if there's trees on that property that are cut as well. It's very hard to tell just because it slopes down pretty steep. So I did talk to her. So, I mean, maybe they will come in next meeting.
No, we can follow up with them. Is everyone okay
Well,
with
we have the ability to look, right?
If I stop by your property, is it okay if I take a walk in the backyard, look at your
Sure.
neighbors? Okay.
I gotta tell you, I've got a lot that only a mountain goat would love.
Recording in progress.
Better wear
I-
sneakers.
When I bought it, I could have sworn it was a level lot. Every year, it gets steeper,
That's fine. That's
more
fine.
stairs.
Yeah.
Don't laugh, you're gonna get
Right,
there.
you can take a boat.
Oh, trust me, it happens quick.
Oh,
So
I don't think he picks on old people, that's why.
I have no.
I think you did a great job presenting, and you brought us an antique too, which is good, and another antique. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
Questions. I would like to figure out 19 and a half and just make sure that
So
it was pruning and.
is that
'cause we did-
Millbury or is it Sutton, 19 and a half?
19 and a half
It's
is.
Sutton,
is
it's Sutton
It's
where
Sutton.
the,
Oh, okay.
where the
All right.
trees are, but the house is in Millbury.
Oh,
Thank you very much for
that's
coming
confusing.
Okay.
Thank
and,
you.
And this was neat.
This is the way the farm used to look. Dolan Farm. That's when it had all the chicken coops and everything.
In wide open fields.
Yeah.
I used to work at the
Different
Dolan
time.
Farm.
All right. So we did Stone School, Erickson. Time change. There's a couple other committees meeting at different times, so we discussed 2 weeks ago to meet at, can you give me this image?
Here's paper.
Yeah, you wanted these, Wanda?
Wanda, did you want to scan
I
them
just
in?
want to, I'm gonna take pictures with my
As
phone.
long as they don't have to come back and make more.
No,
No,
you're all
no.
set.
You're good.
You did the
Okay,
right
You're
thing.
good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Have a good day.
Have a good night.
Bill,
Yes.
remember my conversation?
Yeah, but now we have a meeting set for 6 PM.
I know, but you guys can vote on it again, because nobody would make eye contact with me when you were
Yeah,
doing
can
that.
vote on it.
Oh, yes.
Is that posted? I like it already is published for a hearing.
There's a published hearing for 6 PM on 4/16.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to move that
And
meeting.
on 4/2.
I'm sorry, 4/2. So we gotta we need, because a bunch of people are meeting, to make a time change for our conservation meetings to move them to 6 PM for the next two meetings anyway.
And go back.
And then we can go back to 6:30. Is everyone okay with that? Or we
Why?
can just,
The earlier the better for me.
Pam, if we move everything to 6 PM, is it after two meetings from now, say for May going forward, is that a conflict for other people meeting?
It will not be a conflict, but I will say that when the select board did it, they got a lot of feedback because I think people felt like it's early, like if you count it as a bedroom community, but that's your prerogative.
Okay.
I mean, through the chair, is the hybrid meeting
It's gonna be extended.
extended?
Well, it passed in the House and the Senate is voting on it tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, I feel like with the hybrid option,
Yeah.
people can log in from, if they're still at work, they can log in from work. If they're in the car, they can
We could move it to 6, and then if
do it from
people
the car.
complain, we
I mean,
can change it.
it's only a half hour, so it's not the end of the world.
I'm available whenever, right? It doesn't matter for me.
Both times work for me. So move it to 6 for now, and then if we gotta figure things out.
Next
we'll
two,
do
I
it.
mean, we're missing 3 members too, so we don't have their input, but
Well, at least for the two meetings we have,
Yeah.
the next two, we have to go to 6. So could we just get a motion for the next, to move the time start to 6 PM?
I'll make a motion to do a 6 o'clock meeting on April 2nd and April 16th.
Second?
Tim made a motion to change the meeting time for April 2nd and 16th to start at 6 PM. And Jamie seconded. Tim, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jamie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I, Bill, vote aye. Thank you. Did everyone review the minutes of 3/5/25?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 3/5/25.
Second?
Tim approved the minutes of 3/5/25. Jamie seconded. Tim, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jamie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I, Bill, vote aye. Any other project site visit updates? Sam, anything we should be?
The only thing was One Smith Road, Wanda, I thought, was the guy supposed to come in this evening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the owner for One Smith Road was supposed to come in tonight, the one where the tree fell. None of the trees were planted, as you all know. There was erosion problems, there was trees beyond the limit of work, 5, I think, larger trees cut down. There was no signs ever put up for the wetland signs, so there was a couple issues when I had gone over, I think it was 2 months ago, they applied for the COC. So we hadn't given them the COC yet, and we wanted him to come in, but he had a couple issues, so he missed a couple meetings, was supposed to come in tonight, but he's not here, so.
My memory might be off, but I thought he agreed to plant the trees. We said no to the signs because of the sign change, I thought. And then he was gonna come back in after the big tree fell across the street and was trying to ask again. So I believe he knows he still has to plant those trees unless we hear
And
differently
he
from him.
was, the builder was going to help him fix the trees, and he backed out.
Okay. So I mean, I think we just, until he comes in, right?
Yeah,
We-
there's nothing to talk about.
Need an update, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that's that. So that's One Smith Road. We talked about 420 Partridge Hill Road. Am I missing anything else other than announcements? All right. So, as Tim reminded me last time, the town-wide cleanup is April 5th, which is Saturday, April 5th, from 9 to 11. There'll be people in the town common or on the steps out here handing out gloves, trash bags, etc. You don't need to get any supplies here. You can use your own supplies. You do not need Sutton trash bags. Any old trash bag or box will do. And it's recommended that everyone, or asked that everyone clean up their own area at home. There's no specific area on town roads. And then dumpsters, we want to thank Al's Rubbish for the 4th year in a row for donating dumpsters. They're donating a dumpster, will be here, one in the Common, one at the fire station in Manchog, and one at Al's office on 122. So want to thank you to Al's and everyone who's doing this. So again, the town cleanup is Saturday, April 5th. Starts all day, but if you want supplies, 9 to 11 here. And the dumpsters will be here through the day Sunday. So if you want to continue to clean up on Sunday, or Sunday's a nicer day, you can get it done then. Anything else from anybody?
I would just add to that, because I know you won't say it, but is it Anna,
Yes.
your daughter, who helps put this together, and you and Danielle and your whole family? Thank you for that, because
Thank you. My daughter started doing this, well, this will be the 4th year, and she got into it, and a lot of people have got into it, and it's been fun. It's bittersweet, because you see how much junk's on the side of the road, but then you see how much goes in the dumpster and how much it's cleaned up. So
Yeah.
she's into it. We all got into it, and we usually do our road like after work the week before, so we can go somewhere else on Saturday. So thank
Yeah,
you for
well, I
that.
picked up, I think, 8 nip bottles in front of my house
That's
yesterday.
it?
So, yeah,
That's it.
well, that was just yesterday.
Just yesterday. There'll be more today.
No, seriously though, thank you to you and your family.
Thank you, guys, and thank you to my daughter Anna who put this together.
So Anna puts it together, but Ben always gets his picture.
Oh yeah, he knows how to fight for camera time. So that's it. They'll both be out there. Anything else from anybody? Anybody from the public?
Nothing to sign tonight.
And we've signed yeah, we're good shape. All right.
I make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Tim made a motion to adjourn. Jamie seconded. Tim, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jamie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I, Bill, vote aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Homo on a plane and flown him into crisis situations. So there's really